Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James will be sidelined for at least the next 3 to 4 weeks due to sciatica on his right side, the team announced Thursday. James' return timeline will keep him out of the Lakers' regular season opener against the Golden State Warriors on October 21st and the team's first week of games, at minimum. That means James won't suit up when the Portland Trail Blazers play the Lakers in Los Angeles on October 27th. That matchup will mark Portland's fourth game of the regular season. The Blazers also play the Lakers in Portland on November 3rd, so James could miss that game, too. Sciatica occurs when irritation, inflammation, pinching, or compression affect one or more nerves that run down the lower back and into the leg, per Cleveland Clinic. James, 40, hasn't played in a preseason game yet for the Lakers. He also hasn't participated in a full preseason practice yet this fall due to what Lakers head coach J.J. Redick described as nerve irritation in his glute. The Los Angeles Lakers are dealing with several injuries ahead of the 2025-26 NBA season, which include guard Marcus Smart. The former Defensive Player of the Year gave a worrying update on his recovery from Achilles tendinopathy with less than 2 weeks before the start of the campaign. Speaking to reporters after the Lakers' practice on October 9th, Smart had some good and bad news about his recovery. The ex-Boston Celtics star is dealing with a lot of issues outside of the injury, but he remains focused on getting cleared to play in the preseason. It's been a roller coaster. It definitely has. But it's part of the game. The staff is doing a great job of controlling what we can control with the tendinopathy, making sure we're doing all the things to load it, to get it back used to the things that we're doing, and increasing intensity. The stomach stuff happens, sickness happens, especially when you've got a 1-year-old. So I've just been dealing with a lot, Smart said. Smart is still considered day-to-day, but he practiced fully on Thursday, without any restrictions. That's good news considering how hard the recovery was. There are still some precautions on the Lakers' part, with the ultimate plan for the defensive guard to play at least one preseason contest. The Lakers are back in action on Sunday against the Golden State Warriors, but he's already been ruled out for the game, as per ESPN's Dave McMenamin. J.J. Redick liked what he saw from Marcus Smart. Los Angeles Lakers coach J.J. Redick also spoke to reporters after Thursday's practice. Redick was happy with Marcus Smart's performance, though he's still taking precautionary measures with the 31-year-old guard. Smart is set to get more minutes early in the season due to LeBron James' sciatica diagnosis. Loved his energy. We had a lighter day in terms of intensity but still played some live, and guys got after it. His availability will depend on how he recovers from today and Saturday's practice, Redick said. Smart signed a 2-year, $10.5 million contract with the Lakers this summer. It has a player option for the second season. The Lakers brought in Smart because of his defense, which should help Luka Doncic whenever they are together on the floor. LeBron James' injury a big blow to Lakers. After missing the first 2 preseason games with a glute injury, the Los Angeles Lakers announced on Thursday that LeBron James was diagnosed with sciatica. ESPN's Dave McMenamin reported that James has been ruled out for at least 3 to 4 weeks, which will cause him to miss the season's opening week. James is entering his historic 23rd season in the NBA, the most seasons played in league history. He's turning 41 years old on December 30th, so he's got another season battling father time. He teased his retirement on October 7th, but it turned out to be just an ad for an alcohol brand. The Lakers will turn to Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves on offense, while Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, and Jake LaRavia benefit from his absence. They are set to open the season on October 21st at home against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James has been ruled out for 3 to 4 weeks as he deals with sciatica on his right side. It's the first time in James' career that he is missing the start of an NBA season, and Skip Bayless thinks he isn't actually injured. Bayless stated on the Skip Bayless show that James is disappointed with how he has been treated by the Lakers in the summer and is faking the injury. LeBron James isn't hurting, Bayless said. He's pouting. He's rebelling. He's going little kid on the Los Angeles Lakers for the way they have treated or mistreated him in his view. He's saying, okay, if Luka is the man, if I am not in your plans, then I am basically going to take my basketball and go home. James was suffering from nerve irritation in the glute when he entered the Lakers training camp, and Bayless reckons that was all part of the plan. We were told as training camp opened that he had nerve irritation in his glute, and that could translate into the current sciatica, Bayless stated. But LeBron and his team are brilliant at creating injury excuses. Nobody in the history of sports has ever been more clever and deceitful in faking and creating and exaggerating injuries than LeBron and his camp. Bayless was referring to the likes of Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, and Randy Mims there. The 74-year-old believes James, who averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, 8.2 assists, 1.0 steals, and 0.6 blocks per game in 2024-25, is suffering from sciatica of the psyche at this point. The only thing injured in LeBron right now is his pride, Bayless said. That got stepped on by, of all people, the Lakers. I told you this was coming because it was clear to me and a shock to me as the Lakers were extending Luka and extending open hands to Luka, as in, we will do everything in our power to make you happy as the new face of this franchise. Bayless pointed out that Lakers GM Rob Pelinka and former majority owner Jeannie Buss had both flown to Poland to show their support for Luka Doncic before Eurobasket 2025. Doncic is the crown jewel for the franchise now, and James' interests no longer appear to be their top priority. The 40-year-old might be upset about that, but you doubt he's faking sciatica. This isn't the first time that Bayless has put out such accusations. James reportedly suffered a grade 2 MCL sprain in Game 5 of the first-round series against the Minnesota Timberwolves last season, but the analyst wasn't buying it. Bayless claimed James faked the injury to avoid media backlash over the early exit. It was a couple of months after that playoff exit in July that James is said to have picked up this nerve problem. The fact that the 21-time All-Star is still bothered by it is concerning. If we put Bayless' claims aside for a bit, James is entering his record-breaking 23rd season in the NBA in a far from ideal way. You fully expected him to start shining on the court from the get-go in 2025-26, but it might be a slow process this time around. Perhaps if the Los Angeles Lakers had a more realistic chance of landing a transformational superstar like Giannis Antetokounmpo down the line, they would be more hesitant to make short-term additions. However, the Milwaukee Bucks star's been primarily connected to the New York Knicks, and Lakers insider Jovan Buha, 54-minute mark, Hat Tip Hoops Hype, reported Los Angeles might be more open to a short-term move as a result. Giannis Antetokounmpo has left the door cracked open, but we've since had the reporting that Giannis' preferred destination was the Knicks, not the Lakers, and that it was really one team he was considering, and that was specifically the Knicks. I wonder if the Lakers' recent shift toward being more of a kind of short-term or like win-now mode is maybe in part due to Doncic's success at Eurobasket, but I think more so maybe gaining some intel that some of the big fish that they were hoping to catch are not going to be available or as available as they thought. I think the Lakers got to be careful with how they position themselves for the future, because if it's tough to find a Knicks-Giannis trade. So if that for whatever reason just can't happen and Milwaukee refuses to play ball with New York because they don't want to trade him in conference, they don't like what New York's offering, then the Lakers can swoop in and potentially offer a competitive package. You got to be careful with the cap space, but it does seem like the Lakers are a little bit more open to a short-term move. On Tuesday, ESPN's Shams Charania reported the Knicks were the only place Antetokounmpo wanted to play outside of Milwaukee, which led to trade discussions between the two teams. Yet those discussions never got traction, as those in Milwaukee believe New York did not make a strong enough offer, while the Knicks did not think the Bucks were serious about entertaining an Antetokounmpo trade. From the Lakers' perspective, a short-term move could help them capitalize on the upcoming season with Doncic and LeBron James still paired together. The King is 40 years old and entering the final season of his deal, so the organization's focus will likely eventually turn to building a winner around Doncic. Los Angeles' front office will surely evaluate how things are unfolding in the loaded Western Conference ahead of the February trade deadline and reassess accordingly, but a quick start could make it more likely to focus on win-now moves with one of the league's best 1-2 punches in Doncic and James leading the way. That is especially true if the front office wouldn't be sacrificing a realistic chance of landing a two-time MVP like Antetokounmpo with such a move.